Hello, my name is MooingCat and welcome to part 6 of this guide on how to start a brand new world. You can find all the other parts of this guide in the written version or the video playlist linked in the description. Now, in the last part, we did quite a few things, unlocking guilds, rebuilding city and so on, but now, going forward, things will slow down a little bit. So this is a nice point to talk a little bit more broadly about how you plan to move ahead going forward. And the way I see it, you have three main choices. First of all, you can decide to stay in Bronze Age, or you can decide to move up to Iron Age immediately, or something in the middle and stay a few days in Bronze Age and then move up to the Iron Age. So in this section, I will talk a little bit about each of these options, the pros and cons of each, and then in the next section, I will go over how to actually implement your choice between these three. So first of all, we have staying in Bronze Age. With this approach, you will stay in Bronze Age for some time. I would say at least a couple of weeks, but more on the details in the next part. Now, the main reason to stay in Bronze Age is to build up a decent stock of goods before you move up. You need around 200 Bronze Age goods for the Iron Age technologies. You need around 200 more for the early Middle Ages technologies, and another 400 goods for the High Middle Ages. So this is around 800 Bronze Age goods in total, but you might need more for things like negotiations, great buildings, and so on. So staying in Bronze Age will allow you to generate these through recurring quests, which is another reason you might want to stay in Bronze Age. As previously mentioned, it is a bit easier to complete the collecting coins recurring quest by aiding in Bronze Age, and you are also able to use blacksmiths for recurring quests. And if you're staying in the Bronze Age for some time, you can also take time to research goods buildings as well. Now, one of the downsides of staying in Bronze Age is that you can't advance in the story quest because you can't contribute forge points to great buildings until you move up to Iron Age. You will also struggle getting further on the continent map, though at this stage it doesn't take that long to catch up, so that's not that big of a deal. Staying in Bronze Age will also limit the features you are able to take part in. For example, you will not have access to daily challenges, contributing to great buildings, guild battlegrounds, settlements, and reconstruction mode, and more. So you are missing out on quite a few different features of the game. Now, the second option is to move up to Iron Age immediately. And as I will discuss in the next section, this really is quite immediately, possibly even within day one. The main reason to move up to Iron Age immediately is to unlock daily challenges as soon as possible, and also to get more coins from guild hopping. Both of these can help your forge point production early on. More coins will allow you to buy more forge points, and if you're lucky, you can get forge points or even some good buildings from daily challenges. And of course, you do also get castle system points from completing daily challenges. All of this will help in unlocking more Iron Age features later on in the technology tree, such as the ability to contribute to other great buildings, access to guild battlegrounds, settlements, and the reconstruction mode. Early on, the settlements can be a great way to get more coins, supplies, forge points, as well as some very nice early buildings. You probably can't do too much in guild battlegrounds yet, but even a few fights or easy negotiations, when possible, can get you some very nice resources in addition to castle system points. You also unlock soldiers immediately, which are essentially better spear fighters and will be one of your main units early on. Now, the main disadvantage of moving up to Iron Age immediately is that you might struggle with goods, and you will probably not be able to complete as many recurring quests. Also, going for the daily challenge this quickly doesn't always work out. There are many of the tasks you simply can't do yet, so if you're unlucky, you can't really take advantage of it. It's a gamble, I think it's worth it, but that's up to you. Then we have the middle ground approach of staying a few days in the Bronze Age to prepare all the Iron Age technologies and then move up to the Iron Age. The benefit of doing this is that you get access to most of the Iron Age features except for daily challenges, in more or less the same time frame as moving up to Iron Age immediately. Staying a few days in Bronze Age to prepare will allow you to run blacksmiths and other recurring quests for longer, building up more Bronze Age goods and possibly even some forge points. Once you've moved up to Iron Age, your progress through the tech tree to unlock guild battlegrounds, settlements and reconstruction mode will take roughly the same time as if you moved up to Iron Age immediately, unless you got lucky and got a lot of forge points from a few early daily challenges. And that's the main downside between this and moving up to Iron Age immediately. So compared to moving up immediately, you do lose out on a few days of daily challenges, and you will get less from the guild topping you do if you do that early on. You also delay getting soldiers, making it harder to fight on the continent map, though as I've mentioned a few times, it won't take that long to catch up at this point of the map. You will have a bit more time to get Bronze Age goods, but probably not long enough to get all you need, so compared to staying in Bronze Age, you do still need to do some negotiation or getting more goods later on in other ways. Alright, that's it for this part. Hopefully you found it helpful. You can find all the other parts linked in the description through the playlist or the written guide. And with that, let me thank my Patreons before I end this video. I would like to thank Homestar, Fort Prefect, Lorden, Rockanobin, Kim Cayley, Rolf the 8th, PQ the Goat, Dan Suminad, JT, The Rev, Merrick B, Hugo Kant von Count, Jan Fredriksen, Jude Genuez, Filda, Rush, Susan Weiss, Megarock, Rocco, Eric, Henrik Dare Klerberg, Mattia, Upshi the Obsessed, Raf, Kim, Adaril, Mike, Wolfboy, and Flavius Belisarius. Thanks a lot for watching, take care, and I will see you in the future.